So Tyson Fury did an interview with ESPN recently where he said the following: I'm looking to sign another 10-fight deal after this, so I don't know. I'm going to put my feelers out there and see who I can get the best deal off for another 10 fights. What else is there? I retire, plenty of money, plenty of achievement, whatever. 35 years old. What am I going to do? This makes me happy fighting. This is all I've ever done and all that's ever made me happy. So I'd be stupid now to walk away from it when I'm making millions of dollars and getting loads of joy from it as well. All right, those are the words of the Gypsy King. Now, we know that Tyson Fury is given to making contradictory statements on a regular basis. So he said this now, he might next week say that he's going to retire and he's tired of boxing. That's how Fury is, so you take these statements with a pinch of salt. However, the interesting thing is he says that his top rank contract is coming to an end. He's got 2 more fights. Presumably those fights are going to be Francis Ngannou and Alexander Usyk. And after that, he's a free agent, and he's openly saying in his statement that he's shopping around for a new deal. And I made a video a week or so ago where I was speculating that maybe Eddie Hearn has caught wind of the fact that Fury's contract is maybe coming to an end. And that's why he's starting to be very complimentary of Tyson Fury. He's always been somewhat complimentary of Fury, but lately he's been really cranking it up. And that's often a sign that a promoter is looking to make a move on a fighter, when they all of a sudden get really complimentary about them. I remember when Anthony Joshua's, I think it was his first Matchroom contract, started coming to an end, Frank Warren started complimenting him out of the blue, being really positive about AJ, this, that, and the other, talking openly about his contract coming to an end and how he might not re-sign with Matchroom, etc. But of course, Anthony Joshua did. And then Frank Warren's whole tone towards Anthony Joshua changed overnight, and he became more hostile and critical again. So could we be seeing the same thing with Eddie Hearn, that he's being really complimentary of Fury because he thinks he's got an opportunity to sign him? Are DAZN gearing up maybe when Tyson Fury's contract expires to make him some kind of crazy offer? Because of course, DAZN operate worldwide, not just in the UK, they operate in the United States and many other territories around the world. Maybe they can offer him something more lucrative in terms of his American and global television deal than, ESPN Top Rank are able to offer him. We shall see, but it will be interesting to see what happens. However, a lot of this is contingent on how Tyson Fury fares in his next 2 fights. We're all assuming, most of us, that the Francis Ngannou fight is a walk in the park, no problem there at all. I guess anything can happen, but most of us are assuming that's a complete walk in the park. The Alexander Usyk fight, there is a sizable minority of people who think Usyk is going to win. The majority, I have to imagine, think Fury's going to win, but there's a sizable minority who think Usyk's going to win. And if he does, and then there's the rematch, if Tyson Fury wants it, then obviously Fury's offers, the offers he's getting from promoters, won't be as good if he's coming off losses to Alexander Usyk. So, all this stuff is potential. That's what we're talking about here. Possibilities. But if he were to beat Usyk, then the offers and the deals would be absolutely crazy and astronomical, maybe better than, presumably much better than any other deals he's ever had in the past. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Tyson Fury saying that he's looking to sign a 10-fight deal after this. Do you think he's serious about that? Do you think he's exaggerating about a 10-fight deal? And, if he does come through against Alexander Usyk, how long do you think he would go on for? Do you think he's one of these fighters that want to fight until they're 40? Or do you think he's someone that would actually, quit boxing within, let's say, the next 2-3 years? I tend to suspect it's the latter. I don't think Tyson Fury's got 10 fights in him, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's got that many fights in him. I think all the injuries he's accumulated over the years, he has taken punishment in fights. If he was to fight 10 times more, after the Ngannou and Usyk fights, again, depending on the results, I don't expect him to be able to fight proper contenders and, tough up-and-coming fighters and last 10 fights unbeaten. I just don't think he would. I think at some point someone's going to get him. I think he knows that. And I would say the same for Alexander Usyk. If Alexander Usyk beats Tyson Fury, let's say he beats him twice, I don't expect Usyk, if he wants to fight on for 10 more fights, to remain unbeaten. I'd expect him to lose too. These guys are in their mid-30s, and heavyweight boxing is perilous. It's never as stable at the top as you think it is, because that's the mistake that boxing fans often often make in boxing in general, but particularly with the heavyweight division. They think, oh yeah, that's it. These two guys are the best in the world and nobody can touch them. That's never been the case in the heavyweight division. Look back through boxing history. You think there's an untouchable champion and he gets taken out. It's always been the way. The only time that didn't happen was with Rocky Marciano, which was really an anomaly. Very, very long time ago, okay? Certainly since then, everybody's got touched. Everybody has got knocked off their perch. All these champions that people thought were unbeatable. I mean, there's nobody that I've seen in my lifetime as heavyweight champion who seemed to the public to be more unbeatable than Mike Tyson. Like, you see with Tyson Fury, he's been dropped a load of times in his career. He's got officially a draw in his record against Deontay Wilder in their first fight. Mike Tyson had nothing like that when he was champion. He was undisputed champion. He became champion at the age of 20. He went on this run where he had 9 successful title defenses, right? He won the title against Trevor Berbick, 9 successful title defenses, then finally lost against Buster Douglas, of course, the biggest upset of all time. But during that period when Mike Tyson was heavyweight champion, there were no competitive fights. He was just blasting through everybody. The only fight that was a little bit competitive was Tony Tucker. But other than that, Mike Tyson just completely dominated everybody he fought for 9 title defenses. Total domination. It wasn't like Wilder, where Wilder had some issues in certain fights. No, Mike Tyson just went in there, blasted through everyone. Well, some people might say Frank Bruno gave him a little bit of trouble. How many rounds did Frank Bruno really win in the first fight with Mike Tyson, you know? You might have given him a share of the first, but no, I wouldn't even give him a share of the first round because he got dropped in the opening seconds of the first round, so that's 10-8. He landed a good punch at the end of the round, but, you know. So Mike Tyson, as I say, dominated completely. No competitive fights. Every fight was one-sided for Mike Tyson when he was champion, and yet he got knocked off. He got taken out by Buster Douglas. This is heavyweight boxing, folks. If you go out there and you fight everybody, even if you're as talented and as menacing and you are in not the strongest era in history, because the era that Mike Tyson reigned over wasn't the strongest, okay? And even with all those elements combined, Mike Tyson still lost. Yeah, I would say today's heavyweight division is stronger than the division Mike Tyson reigned over during the majority of his first reign. Okay, later on, obviously people like Holyfield and Lewis came into the picture, but before they came into the picture, it was a relatively weak division, heavyweight. It was full of guys that did have talent, but they had substance abuse problems. A lot of these guys were older. They'd already lost to Larry Holmes. You know, it was like a lot of the fighters that Mike Tyson beat during his first reign were, I guess you could say, Larry Holmes leftovers. And he did beat Larry Holmes himself, who was coming off retirement and not much of a training camp, so on and so forth. So anyway, my point is, it's never as stable at the top as you think it is. So Tyson Fury fighting on for another 10 fights. Maybe if he fights John Jones and has 2 fights with him, and then Ngannou for a trilogy, and has all these kind of Mickey Mouse fights, he might be able to go 10 fights more and remain unbeaten. But we'll see what happens in the Usyk fight. He may not win that. If he does, I don't see him lasting that long if he's going to actually fight real heavyweights. I don't see it. And I don't see Usyk lasting that long either as champion. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast, where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.